That guy's going to fight every single lap, and I do not fault him for that. I think he should go after it. Even if you're a playoff driver, race him hard. That's what it's about. It's racing. These guys aren't out there to go, oh, I'm sorry, you're in the playoffs. I'll let you go because I'm not in the playoffs. No, they're racing. It's a race. They're going to go out there and bust their butts every single lap.
Hey race fans, welcome to another episode of Backseat Drivers. I am Alex Weaver and I'm excited for these two on here. We have one that was in Richmond and one who knows how to put up a good fight for those. We have the resident analyst, Mamba Smith, over there in one corner, and then in the other, a very special guest joining us from NBC Sports, Rick Allen. Rick, I'm starting with you. The guest always gets to go first, but we've seen MTJ now get a win at Richmond on that short track. Joe Gibbs Racing is starting to show a little bit of light. Are they catching up to Hendrick Motorsports?
Oh, I definitely think they're catching up. I think right now the situation is that Joe Gibbs Racing realizes the pressure is on. We saw that actually in the very first race with Darlington when Kyle Busch melted down after his incident on the racetrack. But they know the pressure is on. Denny Hamlin rose to the occasion at Darlington. Now we see Martin Truex Jr., even after having to go to the back at the very start of the race, working his way back up, having a nearly flawless race after that to get up front and win. At one point in time, we had all four of the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers running up front, 1 through 4. So I think they've caught up. I don't think there's any question about that. They're going to be very strong from here on out. I would be surprised if 3 of the 4 aren't in the 8 that make it before the final round. So I think it's a strong organization right now, and I think they're going to be, they're going to be fighting to make sure that they have as many in that championship 4 as they can have.
All right, Mamba, how impressed with you were the 19 and Joe Gibbs Racing at Richmond?
I mean, they did their thing, but I'm not super impressed because I expect this out of them. Martin Truex Jr. has been a killer on the short tracks, and this organization has proven that they can win week in and week out. Now, I will say that, they're probably catching up. Hendrick has been out front all year, but now it's playoff time. Now it's time to bring your best stuff to the race every week and go get it. If you want the championship, you got to be on the top of your game, and they're coming to life right now.
I'm sure the driver who could not win on a short track is going to love being called the killer on the short track now. A lot of wins for MTJ when it comes to those short intermediate tracks. All right, so let's look at the 9 and the 18 because most of us expect them to be there at the end, at least one of the two. So, Mamba, can the 9 and the 18 make it to the championship 4? We've seen a handful of mistakes here lately.
Yeah, they can. They definitely can. Will they is the question. With all the mistakes, I don't think you can make that many mistakes in the playoffs and make it there. So they got to clean it up. They have speed. Obviously, they have the talent. They're both former champions. One is the reigning champion, Chase Elliott. I'm not doubting their abilities and I'm not doubting their teams. I'm just doubting the timing of the mistakes. They got to get it together if they want to win this championship this year.
All right, Rick, what do you have to say to that?
Well, they're relying right now on their season. And so the 9 and the 18 have had, decent seasons, 9 better than the 18, but they've had good enough seasons that they've brought in playoff points. This first round isn't really a difficult round for them. I know that they're trying to clean up the mistakes that they've made, but honestly, they're not going to hurt them as much as people were thinking, even though it's tight. I mean, the top 2 in points right now probably have separated themselves. Top 3 have separated themselves. But from 4th down, it's a battle. And so when we go into Bristol, obviously it's a cutoff race. I think the 9 and the 18 are comfortably going to be able to advance. I think they clean things up. They have so much talent that they're going to be advancing. And I think they go all the way to the championship 4. There's just way too much talent with the 9 and the 18, a reigning champion with Chase Elliott, and obviously a 2-time champion in Kyle Busch. Those guys, they'll definitely be moving on. Yes, they've made some mistakes, but they're not going to hurt them early on. And I think they'll clean it up.
Mamba, the 9 and the 18 in the championship 4.
I don't know. I don't know about both of them. Maybe one of them. I don't know about both of them. I would not stamp my name on that. I would say, seeing how they're running right now, I would say if one of them, it's going to be the 9. The 18 is kind of having an implosion a little bit, so they need to pull that back in. And the 9 is too a little bit on pit road. I remember a quote, I think that was said on the show from somebody earlier this year, that the only thing stopping the 9 from winning a championship is his team on pit road. And that kind of happened this weekend at Richmond. So I think that if they can clean that stuff up, they'll have a great shot to win it. Are they going to win it? I don't know.
I think there's a few other things that are stopping them. A guy by the name of Kyle Larson, Joe Gibbs Racing. There's a lot of things out there that could slow down the 9 from defending his championship. But then you still have to give them that respect. They did win the championship last year. They rose to the occasion. They know how to do it. And that's one of the big keys in this sport is having done it before. You know how to win the championship. They know how to do it in this format. So I see the 9 and the 18 both being championship 4 contenders.
All right. Well, on the flip side of that, Rick, let's look at just Hendrick as a whole. I want to talk about those 4 drivers. We expected Hendrick throughout the season. They came on really hot, and then it was Hendrick may win every single race. And then the 5 has been the dominant one out of that camp so far. Did they peak too soon now that it looks like other teams may be starting to catch up?
I don't think the word peak can be in this sport. I think Hendrick Motorsports set the bar early. They were impressive. I think when you have Kyle Larson going out and winning races the way he did, I think it just showed that they were ready for this season. They had their equipment in line. Their drivers were focused. And every week you get better. And so I know that Hendrick Motorsports has gotten better week after week after week. Leaning on the talent of their drivers. They've got a all-star lineup over there. I think they continue to get better, but I think what happens in this sport is everybody catches up, especially when you're in the garage next to each other. You see what's happening with the Hendrick Motorsports guys. You look at their cars, you say, okay, they're doing this a little bit different than we are. They learn. And so they've caught up, but I don't think they've peaked too soon. I think they're going to continue to be better. And as a matter of fact, I think there's a good possibility they've got maybe 2-3 of the championship at the end of the season.
All right, Mamba. I have 2 of the 4 in my championship 4, but has Hendrick peaked too soon?
I'm going to echo what Rick said. I don't think in this sport you can peak. Not too soon, at least. I think that the 5 has been dominant and has set the bar all year, and it's continued to. It's been great to watch Kyle Larson do what Kyle Larson does, which is win early and often. It's been awesome to see. But I think more so the other teams have caught up a little bit. They have got their playoff cars ready. They've been testing and tuning, and now it's time to go get the money and get that big championship. And they've shown that they're ready to fight for it. Kyle might have walked the dog a lot of this season, but he ain't going to walk the dog through the playoffs. I promise you that.
Yeah, walking the dog. I know a driver who is wanting to walk the dog. But the first 4 out, however, lucky for you guys, I am going to do a little rapid fire, but I want to start with the first 4 out. You guys have a good chance this week because there's only 1 race left, as opposed when I asked this question 3 weeks ago and there are 3 races left. But let's look at the bottom 4 right now, the drivers that are maybe going to have some damage when it comes to Bristol and hoping to rebound with 1 race left before they are knocked out. We have the 13th place driver, which is the 48 of Alex Bowman. He is right there on the bubble with Kurt Busch. Then we have Tyler Reddick, who is sitting right below in the 14th spot, William Byron, and then Michael McDowell. So, Rick, who's your first 4 out after Bristol?
Well, I think Michael McDowell is out, but it's a great season. Obviously, he can hang his hat on, 2021 winning the Daytona 500 was a huge accomplishment for that organization. And I think they've overperformed week in and week out. They've done a great job of consistently, getting all the way through the regular season and this first round of the playoffs. I think they'll exit after this one. I think the other one that's going to go away will be Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, again, RCR has fought valiantly this year, but just really hasn't had that same speed and abilities that we've seen out of Hendrick on the Chevy side. I think Kurt Busch will exit at Bristol. I think that'll be a little bit of a surprise to others. And Eric Almirola, I think, will also be the other one. I think performances by Alex Bowman and William Byron at Bristol will keep them in the hunt. And so I see those 2 guys advancing, even though they're in the bottom 4 now. I see those guys making it into the round of 12. But I see falters out of Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, Michael McDowell, and Tyler Reddick. They're my first 4 out.
All right, Mamba.
I like that list, Rick. You got me on the Eric Almirola one a little bit. McDowell, I to your point, he's had a great year. I mean, for what they've done and how big their team is, winning the 500. And I would have loved to see them be able to steal some playoff points, some stage points, and kind of make it interesting for them. And it just didn't work out, but hats off to them and that whole organization. I kind of think Tyler Reddick, if he can win the race, obviously he's in, right? Tyler would have to win to get in, to me. So, but he is probably out. Kurt Busch, I think he's actually going to win Bristol. He's really good there. He's shown he's really good there. So I think he's going to come strong at Bristol coming at it. Almirola, I agree. I think he's going to be out, and I think that William Byron is going to be in. So I am going with Michael McDowell, Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, and Alex Bowman as my 4 out.
All right, interesting. We'll see who. I'll talk to you guys next week to see who's right. Well, I have a bone to pick on this one because I do have an opinion when it comes to how many times Ross Chastain's name was mentioned on the broadcast Saturday night. Mamba, he doesn't care if you're a playoff driver. He doesn't care if you're going for a championship. Man, that 42 is going to be there regardless.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're racing. They're racers. This is what we want. We want you to run hard. Yeah, I don't want you to run all over the championship contenders and stuff, but at the same time, he's got to put food on his table. He's got to put a roof over his head. He's fighting for those wins too. I want you to fight for every spot and give me a show because this is what it's about. It's entertainment. We're an entertainment sport. That's what it's all about. Go door to door. Don't bow down. Don't give up, just like we saw Chase Briscoe did at Indy. He didn't bow down either. I love it. Let me see it.
Rick, how many times did you say the name Ross Chastain on Saturday night?
Probably not enough. I mean, his performance is impressive, and we should have, applauded it as much as possible. Ross Chastain, what I said during the broadcast too, that I think people forget a little bit is that in the playoffs, there's still everybody out on the playing field or on the racetrack in our situation. Nobody loses their opportunity to keep competing. So when the races, go all the way to the championship, it's not just going to be 4 drivers on the track trying to determine who is going to win the championship. There's going to be 39, 40 cars out there, and all 40 of those guys want to win the race. And all 40 of those guys are going to give it everything they have. And so when we see Ross Chastain, who had a great car, both in Darlington and at Richmond, run up front, he has every right to do it. He's out there to win the race. And like Mamba said, he's got to put watermelon on the table. And so he's going to continue to do that by working his tail off and outperforming a lot of guys. And that's what I think is impressive is Chip Ganassi Racing knows that this is it for them. They've been 20 years in the sport. They know this is the last year. And Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain are going to go out giving everything they have for that organization because it's given them a lot. It's given Ross Chastain an opportunity. That guy's going to fight every single lap. And I do not fault him for that. I think he should go after it. Even if you're a playoff driver, race him hard. That's what it's about. It's racing. These guys aren't out there to go, oh, I'm sorry, you're in the playoffs. I'll let you go because I'm not in the playoffs. No, they're racing. It's a race. They're going to go out there and bust their butts every single lap.
Rick Allen's got me fired up. I'm ready to go. I could go run through a wall. Let's go.
I was going to be the unpopular opinion, but man, he sold me on watermelon on the table. I can't go against that. Okay, Mamba, coming back to you with this one. Do we get a surprise winner at Bristol? I'm not talking about the Kurt Busch, the Kyle Busch, the Christopher Bell, the Matt DiBenedettos, the normal names that are mentioned that are good. At
Bristol. Matt DiBenedetto would be a surprise, by the way.
That's true. That would be a surprise.
Surprise winner. No, I'm just gonna pick my winner. The 12. Ryan Blaney's gonna win Bristol. He's been good at Bristol a lot, and it hasn't come together. He's been good at Daytona a lot. It hadn't come together. It did. He's been good at Michigan. It hadn't come together. It did. I'm going with YRB is going to take it to him at the Coliseum, and I can't wait to see it.
Rick, he wants more dog parties. That's what that means. More victory parties. With
okay,
dogs.
That's all good. I like it. I don't think you're going to see a surprise winner at Bristol. I think the cream rises to the top, and I think the best drivers right now are a part of the playoffs. They're going to be running up front. They're going to battle for the win. If you want a winner, I'm guessing it's going to be Kyle Busch. I think the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers sweep the first round, and I think Kyle Busch is hungry right now. I think he's pissed off. And I think he's going to go out there at a racetrack where you can race pissed off, and he's going to win that race.
Talking about going with low-hanging fruit, Kyle Busch being pissed off. I mean, who would have thought that?
I mean, that's easy.
All right, well, you're not going to like my pick later either, Mamba, because Rick and I might be agreeing this week. All right, so you guys both have said your 4 drivers out. Do one of those drivers, Rick, I'm coming to you on this one, do they get out by wrecking? Is it a wreck at Bristol that causes their point stay to be over?
Yeah, I think Kurt Busch. I mean, I know Kurt Busch has the ability to win the race, but I think he gets caught up in something, and it might be of his own doing. But it's one of those situations where I just don't have a feeling about that team running as strong as they need to run to advance through the playoffs. And I just think that the one team is going to underperform at Bristol, probably in the back. It's caught up in something, maybe in the middle of a hornet's nest. And I just think that that's where they need to score points. And I think they're going to get involved in something at Bristol, and it's going to hurt them to the point where they don't advance.
Bristol is an easy place to get caught up in a lot of things. Mamba, the bottom 4 is one out because of a wreck.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say because I love my boy, but I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick. Tyler pushes so hard. He's a gasser. That's just how he is. That's what he does. And he's been doing a great job all year, but I think he's going to be pressing pretty hard to get that win so they can get into the playoffs. And I think that's going to end up with some misfortune. You're pushing hard at Bristol. There's a lot of things going on. There's not many places to hide when everyone starts sliding down the racetrack. So I think Reddick, when he goes out, it'll be because of a wreck.
All right, last one. This is a driver that neither one of you have mentioned being out. I think he's pretty safe on points. He's advanced to the round of 12 via a win. But, Rick, he held this one pretty close to his chest there, Mamba, so I don't know what his answer is going to be. We were talking about it before we started filming. But is this the year the 11 and Denny Hamlin get a championship?
Oh, Denny Hamlin winning a championship. Let's see. Have we had this discussion before? Yes, we have had this discussion before many times. He's been in this position many times. And I think Denny Hamlin, once again, falls short of the championship at season's end. I love the guy. He's a friend of mine. But I just don't know if he's got what it takes to win that race at Phoenix. I thought last year would have been his best opportunity. The first time that the championship was determined there. And Chase Elliott comes out and dominates. And so I think it's another year where Denny Hamlin's going to be scratching his head saying, what do I need to do to finally get that championship?
All right, Mamba, a statement win to open the playoffs for the 11, but can he make a statement and get a championship at the end?
I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I said earlier on Backseat Drivers this year, he's shown a lot of maturity from the old Denny Hamlin, right? He's been a great leader, and just how he goes about his craft has changed and is different. And we saw that when him and Chase Briscoe got into it. But I don't think that they are there. I just don't think he's there this year for the championship. Does he make the Final Four? I wouldn't even say that. I don't think he's going to make the Final Four. I think he'll be out about round of 8 before that. So no to the 11 this year. Come back, try again next year, bub.
I'm sure he will be back next year trying again, regardless of what happens in the outcome of this season. All right, well, I am excited and pumped up. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year. It is Bristol week, baby. We did not get any concrete Bristol, no asphalt at Bristol earlier this season, so I have been itching for that normal Bristol race after seeing it on dirt. Rick, you've hinted at your pick. Let's get your official pick. Lock it in right now.
Can I change? Oh, no, wait a minute. I will change.
Sure.
No. It's definitely Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is, I think, very hungry. He's aggressive. He's going to go out and I don't know if I would say dominate the race, but he's going to be up front most of the race. and he will end up winning. And I think he gets on that kind of run and maybe looking for a third championship.
All right, Mamba, you sticking with your boy?
I'm tripling down. 1 + 2 = 3, so we're triple dollar down. Look. He's just been I feel like he's been in a different mindset this year. It's been laser focused, trying to win races. He's at a multi-win season for the first time. He's got some monkeys off of his back. He's feeling good. Hell, his girlfriend just won Hooters International. I mean, everyone's winning over there at the Blaney household. So I think he's going to finally get that trophy at Bristol.
All right, well, it's 2 against 1 this week. I'm going with the 18 of Kyle Busch. All you had to tell me was Kyle Busch is irritated, and he gets.
And by the way, I think AJ Allmendinger then wins everything from here on out because his wife is Mrs. North Carolina. So if you can win Hooters,
he was trying to
Bristol, then AJ Allmendinger wins everything because his wife is Mrs. North Carolina.
He was trying to. Heck, he won a cup race doing it. So I mean, something's working out. Right. I need a girlfriend that wins Miss something. I don't care if it's Miss Gastonia, whatever.
Yeah, the key to success is to have a girlfriend with a crown or a wife with a crown. All right, well, get excited for Bristol race fans. It's going to be a really good one. We're racing at the Last Great Coliseum under the lights. It's coming up Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. Rick will be up in the booth with the boys. Make sure to keep him in line, Rick, okay?
Will do.
All right, guys, enjoy it. Happy Bristol week, and we'll see you right back here next week on another episode of Backseat Drivers.